Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, depending where you're watching from. You are welcome to Kenny Bosworth Outreach. Yes, my name is Kenny Bosworth. Today is another beautiful day that the Lord's made. As I always say, this is the best day to be alive. Today we're going to be talking about a journey. Yes, a journey. A journey of a commissioner of art and culture in Edo State. For those that are just joining, that don't know where Edo State is, for their benefit, Edo State is in Nigeria, is the south part of Nigeria. We call it the heartbeat of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, join me today to welcome to the GBKM network for the second time, Honorable Commissioner Osazee Ero. This is a man that was appointed to office as a commissioner. I will allow him to talk a little bit about himself. Hello, sir. Welcome to GBKM today. How are you today?
Hi, good afternoon from London. My brother, good afternoon. Thank you for having me on the show. And good afternoon to all your viewers from all over the world. I
Thank
want
you,
to
sir.
thank you so much for your time. And
Tell us a little bit more about yourself, sir.
oh, well, as you already said, my name is Osazee Ero, former Edo State Commissioner for Art, Culture, Tourism, and Diaspora Affairs from 2017 in the Obasanjo's first administration. I think there's really no more to talk about. I've lived in London for years before relocating back to Nigeria. Served under Comrade Adam Sali Oshomole administration as executive director on project monitoring, oil and gas, and afterwards became the commissioner for art and culture during the first tenure of His Excellency Governor Godwin Inogas Obaseki's administration. So after that, before the tenure was finished, of course, the whole world know what happened. But my travails, in the hands of a very corrupt and wicked prosecutor in Italy. But at least that's still ongoing now. So I'm glad that you're having me this afternoon. And I want to use this opportunity to thank you, Ken Baswai, for what you are doing, reaching out, promoting Edo culture, promoting Edo people all over the world. And most especially the last Edo at 30 event that you guys did. I must commend you, GBK, for what you're doing. Good job. Well done.
Thank you very much. We are very humble. Because of time constraint, I would like to go straight to why we are here today. Some of the questions and discussion may be a little bit rocky, but it is needed for the space that we are. We need to clear the air, disseminate the information, make sure that we are all aligned with what you are focused on currently doing. So, as the advertisement said, we want to talk about the journey. How did you become the commissioner of art and culture in my prestigious state? We know that those states is very rich, and holding that portfolio as the commissioner of art and culture is a very, very, very vital position. How did you become that commissioner?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a vital position because proud to my appointment as Commissioner for Art and Culture, that ministry used to be, they call it Siberia, where a ministry that if they are going to punish civil servants, directors, permanent secretaries that they cannot sack, they send them there. And during His Excellency Governor, Comrade Governor's tenure, and even previous governors, nobody even want to go to that ministry. They say that the ministry is for punishment. But, we came on board, and I was at first surprised that the governor asked me to be in that ministry. People were surprised. Even my local government, Orion people were saying, no, they cannot accept that. But I told them, well, there's nothing impossible with God. And I prayed over it and committed the ministry to God. So everything that was happening during my time as the commissioner, was, to the glory of God. Because I'm a very, very creative person. I think outside the box, and I'm very passionate and committed to anything that I decide to do. So that is the attitude that we use in that administration. And we must not forget that the governor, His Excellency Governor Godwin Obaseki, knows the value of our culture. And like you rightly said, Edo State is richly blessed with a lot of cultural heritage, and there is second to none in the world. So when the governor came aboard before my appointment as commissioner, he chose his 6 thematic pillars of governance where he's going to focus on. You know, he had the environment, he had education, he had infrastructure, he had health, and of course, culture and tourism was one of it as well. So those were his main focal points. So when I became the commissioner and doing everything that we're doing, I got the full support, the ministry got the full support of the governor. And that is why today, you know, even during his first administration, that became face of the government without, you know, any apology or saying anything otherwise. That became the face of Obasanjo's government. You know, for us, we're able to raise the awareness, you know, raise more awareness about our culture, about our heritage. We visited all the tourist sites. We have about 66 tourist sites in Edo State. We visited almost all of them. See the one that can be revamped, and the ones that need refurbishment, and the one that we, you know, give to a private partnership, you know, across the state, from Edo South, the Oba Palace, the museum, Ogbazu, you know, the Zenu Egbe Noriamo, that's River Jameson. You have the Osazee Ero heritage site. You have the Unome, you know, community where Queen Idia fought the war with the Udo warriors and actually fed and conquered the Udo warriors during Obaesige time, when Obaesige, as a prince, was fighting Prince Arwan. So we went to Unome community and actually saw the place, you know, where she cooked for the Udo warriors and slaughtered them. That is still there today. So we wrote the letter that place should be preserved as an heritage site in Novia Northeast local government. So we have these various sites in Edo South and even Edo Central, where you have the Amaho waterfalls, where you have the dirty water from the Oriamo and the clean water from Igwebe. They flow parallel without mixing. That was another tourist site that we wanted, you know, to bring to the known of the world. And of course, the 100 mango trees planted by the colonial powers then, they're still there in Igwebe. Then you go across to Edo North. We visited the Fuga Hills. We visited the Fuga Caves. You have the Ososo Hills, you know, where on top of the hill you are looking at Kogi State and Kwara State, beautiful place for lovebirds. Then you have the Arewa Hills in Akoko Edo, in Okmila, where we actually climbed the plateau. You know, so beautiful site that could generate revenue for that state. So we bring all those things to the known of the governor, and he was ready to develop it. So apart from all those heritage sites, we did a Edo Festival for Art and Culture in 2017, and that was great. We celebrated the first year anniversary of His Royal Majesty Omonobane Edo Akpolokpolo Baeware II Nogidiga, and that was, spectacular. Where we brought the Calabar float, you know, celebrated the Obas Festival. We did the Ososo, visited the Ososo Hills. Then we did the Abad Drum Festival in Akoko Edo. A festival they celebrate every 6 years to 7 years, and invited everybody from all over the world, and it was great. So I was very happy doing what we were doing, very passionate and committed to our job. So it was good. Then in 2018, we did the Edo Fest again, you know, showcasing our culture that Edo State is blessed with. And because of that, in 2019, for the first time in history of Bende State, Edo State got the hosting rights, you know, for National Festival for Arts and Culture, which is still adjudged the best ever organized in that country. So we are privileged, and I said during my time, you know, it was just going, you know, everything was going well.
But looking back,
I was happy.
Looking back, will you have preferred a different office, a different portfolio, if you have to do it again?
No, not really. I'm a handsome person, you know. I don't, in every situation, I give God the glory first. That is just who I am. I've been very creative right from time. I can make water out of stone. I don't let things weigh me down. And that's what has been helping me. And that's something I'm pointing out to my children, that you need to have that positivity in life, in everything that you do. You know, once you think, you plan, and you act, there is no way you will not get results.
Now, but so, if you look at the result, talking of results, and you look at what we are able to achieve, given your explanation today, do you think you did the best? You maximized the opportunity given or the circumstances at that given time while you were in the office?
Okay, I think the result of what we did is out there for people to judge. I can't give myself a pass mark. I can't tell the world that I did this, I didn't do that. But I was just doing my job. And from the feedback that we had, even from the governor himself, His Excellency, Governor Obaseki, the feedback was fantastic, especially after the national festival, that we did, where you have all the dignitaries from Abuja, from all over the world. We have the involvement and participation of His Royal Majesty, attended 3 or 4 of the events, and the vice president and everybody that came. Even in the midst of that security threat, everything went smooth and fine. And like I said, it's recorded, it's adjudged the best ever organized festival in that country. So, people should decide, people should judge me whether we did a good job or not. But if you ask me personally, I think we did well.
Now, I'm going to move forward now because it's a journey. We're here to talk about your journey. And we're going to go slowly. Thank you again, once again, for your time. I know you're very, very busy, but you were able to give us this time. And I promise I will use it very well. So let me segue to a different wave, I will call it. It is on record that you were unable to physically finish that tenure as a portfolio that was given. Can you throw more light to what happened and how it happened?
I think, Ken, to be honest, maybe I've not been on your studio to say all this, but I think, the news has been overflowed over and over again and all that. But before I continue, I think I must appreciate some people that really supported me, that ministry from diaspora. You have the Edo National Association Worldwide, ENO, with their medical supplies, what they were doing from the US and Canada. That was fantastic. So we must appreciate them and encourage them, to keep on doing what they are doing. And of course, other, individuals, that really supported me during my time as commissioner. And even my visitations to diaspora, where we have the cultural ambassadors. Of course, in Canada, there you have Isoke Ibie, who was very, very supportive. We must appreciate these talented and blessed Edo people that we have. Yeah, we have Dr. Henry in Calgary. We have here in London, Joe Gamusoi. We have Siva Ibie. We have in America, all those places, and Germany, of course, Barrister Fusa, Ogiriaki. Those are people that were really, really, supportive during my time as Commissioner for Diaspora. And I need to commend them for their selfless, sacrifices they made without being paid. But they believe in a do agenda, and they did all they could, to support us. And of course, every other person that cannot mention their names here. Yes, my journey, of course, as the commissioner officially, in my physical ended on the 2nd of December 2019, when I was on my way to Berlin, Germany, on the invitation of the Nigerian ambassador to Germany, Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, for an official meeting with some German people talking about the restitution of our artifacts. And I was in company of my former colleague, the Commissioner for Local Government, and Chieftaincy Affair, Model Saibovo, plus other people that were in my entourage. We were about 9 of us. We flew through KLM and got to Amsterdam. In order to connect my flight from Amsterdam to Berlin, my passport flagged up. And I called the police, asked him what was going on. He checked at first, maybe his ticket, vehicle and all that. I said, no, I don't drive. Even if I drive in London, I don't have any tickets or anything on my record. So we checked and everything. Eventually checked this computer and said, oh, well, that I'm being wanted in Italy for mafia-related offenses. So I thought it was a joke, my brother. So we did all we could. I called the governor, called my friends, called my family, told them everything that was happening. So we just thought, the last time I visited Italy was in 2013. I've never, ever lived in Italy. And I've only visited Italy 4 times for holiday, apart from the 2013 meeting that I went for. So we did all we could, I thought maybe 2 days, 3 days would be over, but it just kept on going. we took a lawyer, asked for the more evidence from Italy, what my crimes were, or evidence of the crime that I committed. It wasn't forthcoming, only for them for the prosecutor to send letters and papers that I was a mafia kingpin involved in, he used Article 416, which is the highest Italian mafia criminal code against me, that has to do with importation and exportation of firearms, importation and exportation of drugs, prostitution, human trafficking, kidnapping, extortion, killings, and all that. So I was shocked. I said, what does this man mean? And he said, I attended a meeting in 2013. Okay, apparently, I think he was investigating two guys that happened to be in that meeting in 2013. And again, the law that I had, that because he was investigating them and he overheard them on their phone, that there was going to be a meeting. So they came there and bugged the place, the meeting in Bologna, which was very good, because those are things that exonerated me at the later date. They bugged the place, and the 3.5 hours meeting that was discussed, nothing criminal, nothing implicating, nothing. So they didn't even disturb us, they left. But only for the prosecutor to translate that meeting and had it doctored. I had a lot of things that I could not even imagine myself saying. So when I saw those papers, I told my lawyers that this is a lie. There is no way I can say things like this. So we paid again another 2,600 euro for it, have it translated. And of course, it was different from what the prosecutor had. So we started the case. I've tried to fight the extradition in Amsterdam. The Nigerian ambassador to Holland, former one, I think he's been changed now, Ngofa Oji, yes, was very helpful. He visited me in Amsterdam, and he asked his director, the consular director, to follow up with the case with my lawyer. So they did all they could. There was a letter that was expected from the Minister of Foreign Affairs that never came. If not, I would have been able to get a bail in Amsterdam. So that letter never came. So when eventually we went to court and my extradition failed, and they decided to extradite me to Italy on the 21st of February 2020. So I was extradited to Rome. And I spoke with Ngofa Oji, the ambassador, and I asked him to please contact his counterpart in Italy, in Rome, Ambassador Yusuf Tuga. Yusuf Ina Yusuf, which he did. So thinking that once I get there, I'll get the same assistance I got from Amsterdam, Holland, in Italy. So, but nothing happened. That never happened, my brother. So we went to Freedom Court on the 9th of March after spending 2 weeks in Italy. And at the Freedom Court, my lawyers challenged the arrest procedure of the prosecutor. And he said there were a lot of discrepancies in the arrest procedure. First of all, I was not contacted, I was not written, and there's still no proof of, there was a lot of discrepancies. And the judge agreed and asked that I should be released immediately from prison. So they were issuing me a release letter on the right hand, while on the left hand, they were giving me a prosecutor's arrest warrant to keep me in prison. So I didn't understand what was going on. We were still confused. Up till now, I was still asking them, what is my crime? What have I done? So they said, well, this is Italy. We will know what we do. They will tell me what I do later. I said, okay. Coronavirus did not help matter too. That was the heat of the coronavirus all over the world at that time. So they fixed a date for the pre-trial, and I was still thinking, I'm hoping that at least anytime I have the opportunity to be in court, there's no evidence, I didn't commit any crime, there's no evidence or anything crime committed, so they will let me go. So they fixed the date on the 10th of July for my pre-trial. And when I got to court, I raised my hand and asked the judge, where is the evidence of the crime committed? What have I done up to now? 7 months in prison, maximum security. Not even the police or the prosecutor have come to meet me to say this is mine, to hear my own side of the story. I made an attempt 3 times to talk to the prosecutor. He refused. Only for that day on the 10th of July, which the pre-trial, and they asked me, the prosecutor said I should do a short trial, because that day you have to choose which direction you have to go. If the judge decides to take the case for trial. And he said I should take the short trial, and he will give me house arrest. Apparently 2 months before that time, we applied for house arrest, but it did not work. He refused. And I said, why will he give me house arrest? By the time you give house arrest for a short trial, you already convicted me without showing evidence of crime committed or even anything. So I told the lawyers no. He said, oh, the long trial will take 4 years. I said, I don't care. As long as one day I know I'll be exonerated, rather than accepting, a crime or accepting charges that I did not commit, a crime I did not commit. So there were 3 of us on that set. Then after, he has arrested over hundreds of people. In that group, when my set was 53. As I speak to you at that time, 30 of them were already arrested and in prison. He extradited the other guy from Germany and the other one from Belgium. So I decided to do the long trial while the other 2 people fell into the trap of the short trial and house arrest. Then they fixed the date September, for the beginning of the trial, from September 5th to September 24th, from September 24th to October 15th, from October 15th to November 5th, from November 5th eventually to November 24th. So when we started the trial, the long trial, then the judge now asked the prosecutor, where is your evidence? Because if you do the short trial, they give you, and somebody is convicted, he does the 2/3 of the sentence because he's giving it up his right for trial. But if you do the long trial and the person is convicted, you do the full trial. The full sentence, because you have spent taxpayers' money and senior judges to handle that. So I decided to go for the long trial because I know I didn't commit any crime, and I was worried. I was really curious to see what evidence is going to bring. So on the 24th of November 2020, when the trial started, when the judge asked him, where is your evidence against Mr. Osazee that you are calling him a mafia kingpin? I was expecting to see drugs of cocaine or guns or whatever, only for him to present a manual. And he said this is the manual that the association used for their crimes in Italy. And he called the manual a green Bible. I have never seen a green Bible in my life. I've never seen that manual. So my lawyer asked them, how did you come about this manual? He said, yes, one of the guys that they were investigating, after 2 years in prison, he left him because he was ready to collaborate with him. And he left him. So he saw it on the GCA or Mafia Facebook pages and said they were sending it from Nigeria. They intercepted it, made a photocopy of it, and that's how they got the manual. And they asked them, where is the recipient of this manual? In Rome. The person was not arrested. Why was he not arrested? He said, they were still doing the investigation, so they didn't want them to know that they already have a copy of it. After your investigation, why was the person not arrested? Because you got the manual in 2018, and you arrested Mr. Osazee in 2019, December. So how come now you still not arrested the person that the book was sent to? Apparently, we didn't know who sent the book from Nigeria. You don't have the person that are the recipient in Italy. So why are you not using a manual that you intercepted halfway for a crime? For against people. And he has used that same manual to sentence 20 Nigerians. If you Google this, it is there. If you Google Torino Chronicle, September 26, 2020, page 8, you will see there that 20 Nigerians sentenced to 140 years. It was this same green Bible that he used to sentence them. They've started their appeal now. They've been in prison for 2 years. They were arrested July 2019.
Now, let me quickly comment.
Doing the appeal now.
Let me say this.
Sent everything about that green Bible, how it was forged, and all the descriptions to their lawyers.
So
it's going to help them with their case. And my case, of course, is a reference point for them. Because you cannot call me mafia. The boss and the followers have been in prison since without any evidence, and you're using the same thing that I came to tell you now that was forged against them. So we did all those trials. The case started apparently on the 28th of January. He brought 2 Nigerian boys who happened to be in that meeting that I was in 2013, and that was the first time and the last time I've met those guys in my life. He brought them to court as his witness testimonies or his witness, and those ones actually came to testify against me and lied in court. The same people, Bini Boy, Joe Fred, Thomas Omorege, and Nosayaba Iyare, aka Ajay. The Thomas Omorege is his nickname is Oscar. So those people from Italy that knows them, those are the people. And apparently these are the same 2 people that he has used to point innocent Nigerians and pack them in prison. Nosayaba Iyare, Ajay. and Geoffrey
Now,
Thomas
let
Omoregie.
me ask a follow-up question, if you don't mind. First of all, before I do that, I'm just googling what is, for those that don't understand what is Article 416 in Italy. That's the mafia type unlawful association. It's said to exist when the participants take advantage of the intimidating power of those associations and of the resulting condition of submission and silence to commit criminal offense. And it goes on. So for those that don't understand what that means. But having said that, let me quickly go back now. We're getting a lot of messages. I want to first of all thank you. This story you are saying, I am aware of the story because I've seen it in the cyberspace. But because of this is the first time you are on this station, on this matter, our viewers are asking questions and trying to figure out what is happening. This is why. And I want to thank you for taking your time to explain it thoroughly. At least nobody will now ask what happened. Now, the said meeting that was flagged, was it a political meeting or just a family meeting or friends gathering?
No, Ken, I am a member. I was a member of the Green Circuit Association, GCA, registered in London, registered in Nigeria, registered in Italy. Apparently, there were some boys who were saying they were Mafites that attended that meeting. So the prosecutor decided to say that GCA is a cover-up for Mafite.
So what is the full
It is
meaning
two
of
different
GCA?
things.
What is the full meaning of GCA?
Green Circuit Association.
Okay, all right. Now let's move forward.
So there are some people that still use it. They mix it up.
Let
There's
me
a lot
go.
of mix-up.
Let me go forward to one of the reasons why I'm asking this question. You have a massive movement that was given birth to, in my opinion, within and during this saga. Let me call it a saga. And this movement is spreading like a wildfire. We have carefully watched it from afar. Right now, we're opportune to watch it in a close range. I am privileged today to ask you to tell us a little bit about this bet that has been given to you. You spoke about the 416, Article 416, and in your own words from previous interview that I've seen, you spoke about the injustice that is happening where people are sentenced unlawfully, in your opinion. How did you come about this statement where you say people are sentenced to jail unlawfully?
Ken, on the 28th of October 2020, 17 Nigerians were arrested across Italy. They have started their trial now. I spoke with their wives, some of their wives yesterday. They've postponed the case again to October. On the 26th of April, 51 Nigerians were arrested. On the 26th of September 2020, 20 Nigerians sentenced to 140 years. While I was in Rome, they extradited about 6 Nigerians, different times, from Germany, from Belgium, and which other places. And everything they accuse them of is the same Article 416B. I'm glad that you've Googled Article 416B for organized mafia organization. And the crime that follows Article 416B is importation and exportation of firearms, importation and exportation of drugs, prostitution, human trafficking, extortion, killings, and kidnapping. That is that Article 416B. Does any of these Nigerians have that capacity to organize themselves and indulge in this kind of mafia crime? No. So they are mixing it up. I am not a cultist. I've never been a cultist. They are mixing it up that all those boys that belong to association, different association, whether you call them cultists, whether you call them whatever, is using Article 416B on them. My case on the 29th of May 2021, I've proven that.
Now, talking about your case, were you discharged and acquitted?
And the judge.
Talking about your case, because I see that your case now is now like those ones that a lot of people will refer to. And that prompts this question that I will put to you right now. Were you discharged and acquitted under technical reasons, or you were discharged and acquitted because you are innocent?
How do you hypothetical reasons.
Sometimes when it comes to legal combat, legal battles, there are unlawful arrests, illegal arrests, even when it's obvious that this happened.
No.
So
Ken,
there are technical grounds.
Ken,
Yeah.
my case went for full trial. Ken, my case went for full trial from November 24th to May 29th, 2021. My judgment, one, the judge, Judge Paulo Gallo, said that whatever association, whether the GCA or even the mafia that the prosecutor were proclaiming, that it is not up to a mafia organization. That was one. Number two, that the Green Bible, which I said before, that he used to sentence 20 Nigerians to 140 years. And the only thing that he presented as his physical evidence on the 20th of November 2020 was forged. On the 24th of November 2020 was forged. That a competent court asserted. Number three, that there are three things: Green Bible, not a mafia, and then the investigation. Throughout the 5 years investigation by the prosecutor was not properly done to ascertain arrest. That is the judgment I got.
On this note,
point for everyone that don't know, brother is said as a mafia, let them refer to my case. It will exonerate them.
On this note, we're going to quickly go on a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about where we are, where the Honorable is right now, what is onto, what is coming next, and the way forward. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching on Facebook, like, share, tag us, tell a friend to tell a friend. If you are on our YouTube, please share, subscribe. Of course, download our app so you can get a quick notification. Do not touch that dial. We'll definitely see you on the other side.
This is your boy, George Chukwu here, aka Bluetooth George, coming to you today to tell you about this great milestone that is taking place, the premiere of Not For Sale the movie. It is happening October 2nd. This premiere is going to bring all manner of actors and actresses, and you beautiful people, get yourself ready. It's taking place at Royal Event Center, 30 Gordon McKay Boulevard. We are going to be celebrating, popping the bottles, and having a wonderful time with all the Nollywood actors. I want you to grab your tickets today. This event is a must-attend event. We have the tickets, $40 for the early birds, $50 at the gate, $1,000 for 8 people on a special VIP table. You're going to be getting a bottle of cognac and some good bubblies for the ladies. Get your tickets today at Eventbrite. You can call 647-995-5029 to get your tickets. Come on and party with me. You know how we do. This is our event, and I'm expecting you ladies. Get your clothes ready. This is time after the COVID-19 to come and showcase your beauty. I am there waiting for you on the red carpet. This is your...
Do you want to be your own boss and make income or extra income with flexible schedule? Welcome to Keenan Courier. Keenan Courier works as a marketplace platform connecting customers who need something delivered with drivers that are willing to serve them. Courier with any vehicle, better trip allocation, and cash out your earnings whenever you want. Download our driver apps today to sign up.
Welcome back, welcome back. My name is Kenny Bazwaye, and you are on Kenny Baz World Outreach. If you're just joining us today, we are here discussing with our brother, Honorable Osazee Ero, live all the way from United Kingdom. We spoke about his journey, how it started, the rocky part of it. You know, they said that sometimes as a man, you can go, and then you hit turbulence. What happened is not the turbulence. What you get when you are coming back from that turbulence, how you bounce back, how you reform yourself, and the life you touch. That's what you get. Honorable, welcome back. Are you hearing us, sir?
Thank you very much.
For those that are just joining us, please quickly say one or two things about you so that they will know who we have here.
Oh, like I said, my name is Osazee Ero, former commissioner for art, culture, tourism, and diaspora affairs at those states. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Once again, I want to reiterate this that I am very humbled that you took the time. These questions that you have been asked everywhere you go, you were kind enough to also answer. You took your time to explain it. I want to say that on behalf of our listeners and viewers, we are very grateful. Thank you very much. We are honored to have that done. Now we are moving into the present terms and the future term. Like I said in my opening remark after the commercial, it's not really the turbulence that you face that matters. It's what you pick when you are coming up. It's what you translate it to, and the life you touch, the life you impart. Now tell us what this turbulence has make you become.
Thank you very much, my brother. I think, to be honest with you, it was a very difficult time, very difficult period for me, especially the first 6, 7 months, when I didn't understand, I didn't know what, the charges or the allegations or even what was going on. Because prison itself is difficult for people when you commit crime, talk less of somebody that is innocent when you didn't commit any crime at all. So you can imagine that. So the first 6, 7 months was very difficult, very, very difficult for myself, for my wife, my children, my family, my parents, my dad and my mom, age parents, and of course, my very close friends, that so much believe and trusted in me. So it was difficult for everybody. And even the state governor as well, His Excellency Godwin Obaseki, and my colleagues, the commissioners and all. It was a very difficult time for people that are close to me, and even people that were following us in the state and following the culture and what we're doing in that state. So, like I said, the first 6, 7 months was very confusing. But at the 8th month, when I was now transferred from Rome prison to Torino, that was a very difficult ordeal as well. Imagine me in handcuff in a small van, locked up. Instead of them to put me on flight for some reason, the prosecutor decided to, transport me on road, and it took us about 11 hours.
Wow.
In handcuff to Torino. My hands were swollen. Got to Torino, my blood pressure rose to over 200 and something. God really saved me, but I was still, confused and wondering what was going on. I believe so much in God, and I've always have my life and everything committed to God. So I was still thinking that God cannot raise me, from at that level in that state and bring me down. So I knew there must be something that God wanted to show me. Of course, I had quiet time with God. I have time to pray, and pray with the other fellow inmates that were there. So the 8th month, when after settling down in Torino and going through the case and everything, it became very clear that the reason that God sent me there was to go and liberate his people. Because when I talk about over 200-300 Nigerians, I can give you the statistics. Like I said, 70 Nigerians in October, 51 Nigerians in April, 20 Nigerians in September, 53 Nigerians on my case, there are 50 Nigerians from the guys that were extradited and all that. It runs over 300 Nigerians in Italy. So I'm not making up those figures. So it became clear that those people, most of them are breadwinners for their families. Most of them are the surviving families back home in Nigeria. Most of them pay their parents or their children or their brothers school fees and house rent, and even as far as feeding. So there are people who will be praying to God as well, that God should help them. And these people don't even have money to pay lawyers. This prosecutor will give them government lawyers and manipulate the government lawyers to the way that he wants the case to be in his own favor, and end up putting these people in prison. Like I said, you cannot be using Article 416B on people that did not commit the crime. You cannot arrest a pocket picker in New Benin Market or Usulu Market and go and put kidnapping or armed robbery charge on that person when you did not see any gun. That is exactly what is happening. That is the simplest way to explain that Article 416B and whatever is accusing them from. I've never lived in Italy. I've never had any cause to stay there. I've never been involved in prostitution or trafficking of anybody. My brother, I left school 30 years ago. I've been minding my business. My records are there to speak for itself. I've lived in London. I was a train driver, driving the London Underground for 10 years in London. That is one of the best paid jobs in the UK before I decided to go back to Nigeria. So I'm from a very good family that knows our name. Ero family is not a name that you play with. So we are not, we're not criminals. So we did that. Then in 8 months, it became very obvious that God sent me there for that purpose. God provided the resources for me. It cost me a lot of money. My lawyers were very expensive, all still expensive. You know, it's on paper. What I paid was £56,000 to the lawyers alone. That's for legal fee. So these boys that are in Italy don't have €1. I was even the one buying them soap and cream and every other thing in prison. They will come out and testify to all that.
How do you,
So
how
I
has
paid the
this
lawyer.
now, what has this, my question is, let me paraphrase it.
I'm going there, Ken. I'm going to your question. I understand very well. We need to explain to people so that they know where I'm coming from. The reason I went there is because God sent me there. That is my belief, to liberate these people and change the narrative of this so-called Nigerian mafia in Italy, period. And that is why I'm fighting now tooth and nail. You saw my trip to Nigeria. I'm back to London. I went to the highest authority in Nigeria because I made a vow to God that if God released me from that prison, this is what I'm going to do. And God did. Because if it's not God, my brother, I would have still been there suffering and serving time for a crime that is not even committed because of the corruptness and the corruptness of those prosecutors.
It's on record.
So, like I said,
it's on record that you have started making some moves when it comes to this effect as to what you just alluded to, right? It's on record. How do you intend to maximize this opportunity, leverage on your experience, and keep it in the long term?
Well, Ken, I decided to set up an NGO, which is the hashtag Justice for Innocent Nigerians. And like you said, I visited the Oba of Benin, I visited the governor, I visited the Biket Dabiri, the chairperson of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission. I visited the Inspector General of Police in Abuja. I visited the Commissioner of Police. I spoke to private and individuals in high authorities. You saw my campaign, you saw my interviews on Arise TV channels and all the social media handles. And again, you saw my protest in Lagos. Even though the police that is supposed to be supporting me, they said they got directive from above and they were against me on that day. But we still went ahead, did the submission, and I've sent the petition to Abuja. So I'm changing the narrative now. It's not about protesting, for Nigerians, because I just found out that even Nigerians don't even appreciate what I'm doing for them. But I have the right to exhibit my fundamental human right, which I'm doing. So on Thursday next week, I'm going to the Italian embassy here in London. I'm going to submit my petition. Yesterday, I was with my MP, the member of parliament in charge of my constituency in UK here. I went to thank them for what they did, contacted the British embassy and asking the ambassador to visit me while I was in prison. And he visited me 3 times. They sent me books. They were in constant touch with my lawyers. And when the trial started, they wrote a letter to the court, telling the court that I've lived in London for over 24 years with no criminal record. Yes, they cannot interfere in their judicial process, but they are waiting and watching. Those were the things that helped me. So I went to thank the MP yesterday, and he said he will follow me on Thursday to go and submit my petition in the Italian embassy. My petition is to the Prime Minister of Italy, to the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Justice, Marta Catabra, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Di Maio, and the Minister of Internal Affairs. I will submit the petition with my friends and my family, with placards, and let them know what they did to me. You kept me incarcerated for 18 months. Yes, there are other ways to seek compensation, but this is the way I decide to handle this.
Why will you not prefer, I think we lost your audio, why will you not prefer a financial compensation where you can amass some wealth for yourself and immediate family? Why do you choose to go this route? And my second question is, how do you now distinguish or separate fighting for people or fighting against the government?
Ken, can you please repeat your question? I didn't hear you.
All right, so why did you choose the route you choose? Why do you not choose to pursue a financial compensation where you and your immediate family, friends can benefit from that directly. My second question is this: how do you differentiate this movement from attacking the, fighting for the people that need those help and attacking the government?
No, the judicial process in Italy there is different. Yes, I've won the case at the lower level. The prosecutor is going to make his appeal, which he has done, because the state, it goes from first stage, then it goes to the next stage, which is appeal, and it gets to the next stage, which is the final one, their Supreme Court. They call Cassazione there. So it is when they now get to that stage, they now register the person. If it's convicted against that person in their criminal record, or if it's exonerated, as my case now, as a free person, then and I cannot apply for compensation, the time they kept me there and all the damages. That is their process. That is the legal process there. But I'm not waiting for that, because if we wait for that, innocent Nigerians are going to keep on languishing in prison. What they do, they just, yes, don't get me wrong, Ken. Let me say something quickly. I'm not fighting justice for people that commit crime. Some of these our boys in Italy constitute a lot of nuisance. They fight themselves on the street. They cut themselves. They do a lot of things that is, unbelievable. Do you understand? They do those they constitute those nonsense on the street. They sell marijuana in the park. They fight themselves. They do things that you as a Nigerian would be ashamed of. But what I'm saying, arrest those people, prosecute them. Don't pack their friends. Or because they talk to somebody, that person is not a member of his friend or his association, you go and arrest that innocent person that they not commit crime. That is different. So we must get it very clear. These 300 Nigerians that I'm talking about, not that they are all innocent of various crimes. Some of them sell marijuana. And even in my case, 9 of them out of that 53, according to the prosecutor, were involved in credit card fraud and sales of marijuana on the street. But it was individual crime, according to the prosecutor himself in my case.
My follow-up question on this will be, how guarantee are you that these people you are fighting for are really what they told you they are? Because from what you're saying, it appears that you are not directly involved in their legal process. That appears to me that you may not be privy to the transcript, we call it here, or to the exclusive information that is documented, that is levied against them. How can you assure that this is not just a message because of your status, your position, and they are privileged to be in the same space with you? They can sell anything to you.
No, this is not about what they say. These are things that I know. I saw their papers. I saw their court papers. We were together. And it was exactly the same thing they charged me with that they charged them with. The only thing, they will remove my name and put that person's name, and remove whatever association is charging him with and put the other association. Every other thing is the same.
Wow.
With the Article 416Bs, with the fact that 5 years ago or 7 years ago, they arrested Nigerians who were involved in fight between two cultist groups. They arrested the Chinese, who later came, and the Chinese government came and said, look, our people are not mafia. If any of our people commit crime, arrest them and prosecute them for the crime they committed. The same people with the Albanians. Everything is the same. Copy and paste. They only just remove my name and put the person's name. That's the same thing. And we are charged with that same Article 416B. So I know what I'm talking about. The boys, the 70 boys that were arrested in October, 15 of them were brought to Torino prison. 2 of them, one of them is a pastor. I read his case file. He has lived in Italy for 14 years. The other one is a nurse who have worked in Torino hospital for over 14 years. These are people that are there, and they register the association. They send their names, their credit, their pictures, and everything to the authority, and they issue them certificates. So when you are now arresting, now you now see people that submitted their names that were not involved in the meetings. You pack all of them and give them Article 416Bs. Okay, let them look at the case. A competent court has exonerated me because I'm the first person to do the long trial. Every other boy does not have money to take lawyers. The prosecutor give them lawyers that he manipulate against them and ask them to do short trial. Take your short sentence and go home. 4 years, 5 years is short sentence. That's the difference.
I'm going to move forward now because of time. How have you getting any support from people on the other side? When I mean the other side, I'm talking about the community, the Nigeria community, government, the people around, friends, people like me, other media. Have you getting any support so far in this movement or in this journey?
No, no, no. I must appreciate individuals like you. What you're doing is fantastic, because this is part of the drive to create awareness, to let the world know what is happening. Yes, individuals have reached out, friends have been supportive. I told you it cost me 56,000, but that wasn't my money. Apart from the one that the governor gave me himself, and other individuals supported me financially for that case. Yes, I've been out for over 1 month now. There's no income, there's no salary, there's no job. But friends have been saying, no, so I said, take this, take that, we support you. Even people have been calling me from Europe to say they want to contribute money to me. I don't know them, and I cannot take money from them, because this venture is not about money making yet. Because I want to set up an NGO, register it, make it have content. Because when I finish with these people, with this campaign, hopefully by next week, then I will go back to Benin, prison there. There are people that are kept there unjustly. My lawyers will look at their case file, even if it's 5 people, I can give freedom to a year. We will look at that. We will raise money to buy beds and foams and all that for the prisoners. Maybe 600 to the women's wing, 400 to the men's wing. That is what God told me to do, and that is what I'm going to do. I know, people might look at it differently. Why is he doing this? I went through an unjustly case, and I know what it is now to be in prison and kept in prison for a crime that you don't even commit. That is my own way of giving back to the society. But I've raised awareness. And my awareness, my campaigning is giving a lot of positive things. I want to commend, the new Italian and Nigerian ambassador to Italy. What's his name? Imam Abam, Ambassador Imam Umfamwawa Ominimini Abam. He has started visiting prisoners. I want to commend him, because I'm not out there to attack them or the foreign affairs minister who drop out, you do not do what you're supposed to do. If people do something good, commend them. He has started visiting the prisoners. He's finding out first-hand information to know what is happening. That is a positive move, because even if the prosecutor know that the ambassador, the embassy is concerned about their citizens, they will sit tight. They're not be putting them in prison unjustly. So this is for other ambassadors in other countries to follow the suit, to follow the lead of Ambassador Imam Abam. And of course, our brother Bakari in Italy. Those are people that are really reasoning well and understand what we are doing. And Oberland, as well. They understand where we are coming from. And let me clear things to the Italian, our people, my brothers and sisters in Italy. This is not to cause trouble for them, because they say, oh, I want to cause trouble. No, it will make the authority, the police and the authority respect people more. That Nigerians are not people that you can just throw into prison for nothing, and nobody cares about us. This is going to make them know that you cannot just pick a Nigerian because he has a green passport and put him in prison. A lot of changes are coming. As I speak to you now, Ken, this matter is being raised today in the House of Rep in Abuja by Honorable Dennis Idahosa. He sent me the motion that the speaker has already agreed for them to speak on that matter today. So once they do it, it's going to go viral. This is awareness that I promised God that I was going to do. And this will bring a lot of changes to these Italian prosecutors. Because these boys go through I know that I support it. They go through that Libya, Mediterranean routes and all that, looking for greener pastures, because they believe that it is better for them to get that than Nigeria. And when you get to Italy, you arrest them and put them in prison for 4 years or 5 years.
Honorable, it appears
with no evidence of crime committed, according to that crime they committed.
It appears that we are having some audio issue. As we wind down, I want to quickly soften and I want to drop a softball as we wind down. How do you intend to replicate this thing you're doing worldwide? Let's take, for example, Canada, the United States. How do you, because this is a good cause, from your explanation, it is visible to the blind and audible to the deaf that this is a good cause. How do you intend to duplicate this process, this movement worldwide, to have a massive fire, I'll call it spread?
Ken, I think, like I said, first of all, it's making a positive impact now. And you are doing a very good job contributing to it as well. So we'll take it up from there. We've set up an NGO, which is called the Nigerians Life Matters, or the hashtag Justice for Innocent
Beautiful
Nigerians.
website, guys. You should check it out. Beautiful website. I was on there this morning. Beautiful website. The logo,
Thank you.
excellent, beautiful.
Thank you very much. It's work in progress. We'll say. So if you have suggestion, like I said, this is for all of us. It's not about me, and we're building this content, raising this awareness for Nigeria. I just told you one very positive thing just now about His Excellency Ambassador Mofa Amba, the new Italian ambassador to Italy. And of course, Bakare and Oberland are doing good job and understand where we are coming from. Not the negative people there that think I'm looking for popularity or what I'm saying doesn't make sense. It is for the fellow Nigerians that are in prison. If people commit crime, let them prosecute them according to the crime they committed. Don't put innocent people. Don't transfer crime to any other person because of association or friendship or membership or even phone call or Facebook page. Or listen to idiots like Nosayaba Iyare Aje and Geoffrey Thomas Omorigi because they want resident permits or because they want reduced sentence on the crimes they've been committed. So you now start lying against innocent people. It is wrong. So going forward, this only, like I keep saying, God will always direct my step.
On this note, Honorable, how do our people at home, how can they at home in diaspora, wherever they are, how can they reach you? How can they be part of this movement? How are you accessible?
Good. Like I said, the website informations are there. I can send it to you to put on your platform. The website is there, email address is there, phone number is there. We've received over 56 emails, and messages over since that this campaign started. And I just told them to put in the writing and put it as part of the content in the website. So the website content informations are there because I can't put my number there for everybody to be calling. That would be too much, overwhelming. So the information of the website are there. Let people put. I'll be getting calls from all over the world talking about their travails and all that. But I just say let's be focused on these innocent Nigerians first. And I'm glad that the awareness are there. So that focus, the informations are there. You can help us spread it as well. And again, it's not my thing; it's our thing. I don't know these boys before. I've never met them. So it is humanity that we are working for humanity, and God will reward everybody in their own contribution. My pain, my brother, is that while I was inside, I know my wife, my children, my family, my parents suffered, and that is the same thing that these are going through, and we should not let that happen. The only reason that your brother is talking to you here today is because of my status, and I was able to raise that money to get freedom. These guys are human beings. They shouldn't go through that. So we all need to work together. We all need to come together and make sure that we put a stop to this to this injustice in Italy. Because if not, these boys that are coming from Nigeria, we live a communal life. When they get to Europe, the first thing is to call their friend. And when you get there, is whatever your friend is doing that you join them to do before you find your feet. So they cannot pass through that, do that suicide mission. Not that I encourage it anyway, because as Commissioner for Diaspora, I was really discouraging them.
On this note, Honorable,
so we need to help them.
On this note, Honorable, what will you say to those women that their husband or those men that their wife is locked up, those people that are currently facing that situation right now, and even those on their route, on their way to the prison as we speak? What's your message to those people?
Thank you very much. First of all, those people coming on their way to Italy, just know that you need to be very careful. Stay away from friends, stay away from bad friends, stay away from association. They don't accept it. They have not come out to say, oh, they banned association. Because you should have said you banned them so that Nigerians cannot associate. But we live a communal life. We live as friends, our community. So our friends, our brothers are coming. You need to tell your brothers, stay away from friendship. Get 1 or 2 friends and avoid meetings. That is one. Then those ones that their wives, their husband are in prison, log on to go into our website, put your information, they will reach out. If you have your lawyers, the lawyer of the person's contact, put it there. We will call the lawyer and supply all the information they need to defend our case, their cases for them. And of course, we'll pass it on to the ambassador, who is doing a very good job now. And of course, Abike Dabiri, because my petition is being handled through Abike Dabiri by the Minister of Justice in Nigeria, according to them. But we're not going to wait for that. So next week, I'll be in London front of the Italian embassy in London to go and submit my petition with my friends and my family, and of course the MP of my constitution. So those people that live in London, you want to join us, that's fine. We have printed T-shirts, we have our placards. We need to send a message, because this one will draw the attention of the international community to let them know what is happening to Nigeria or what happened to me in Italy. It's my fundamental human right to express how I feel. Thank you very much, Ken, for having me.
Wow, wow, wow. Let me start by thanking you once again for this thorough explanation. We are able to disseminate this information properly. Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, all the viewers, all the listeners all over the world. Without you, there cannot be us. This is for you. This is by us, by you, for you. We're all one. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Support us. Share, like, download our app. The only help that you can give us is to share, like, tell a friend, download our app. Make sure you give us a rating on the app. At the bottom of the app, you see where you can give rating. Rate our app. It's a 24-hour live app where we disseminate information, entertainment, news, and more. On this note, I want to say thank you. Our time is up. We will come back again with more details on this movement and more other interviews for other people that are coming. Once again, I remain your humble host, Kenny Bazwai. Do not touch that dial. Keep watching. Stay blessed. And this is the best day for you to be alive.
This is your boy George Chukwu here, aka Bluetooth George, coming to you today to tell you about this great milestone that is taking place, the premiere of Not For Sale the movie. It is happening October 2nd. This premiere is going to bring all manner of actors and actresses, and you beautiful people, get yourself ready. It's taking place at Royal Event Center, 30 Gordon McKay Boulevard. We are going to be celebrating, popping the bottles, and having a wonderful time with all the Nollywood actors. I want you to grab your tickets today. This event is a must-attend event.